And no disrespect to Mat Armstrong, I think he's doing amazing things. He's a great guy and all of that. Like, I also follow his videos, all good. But we just don't think it's safe, and that's why we can't support it.
Have you ever wondered if one YouTube video could make one of the world's most famous car companies nervous? Imagine spending months rebuilding one of the rarest and most expensive cars ever made, filming every challenge, every mistake, and every success, only to hear rumors that the entire project could be stopped before millions of people even get a chance to watch it. It sounds like the story of a Hollywood movie, but for many car fans, this has become one of the most talked about topics in the automotive world. At the center of this story is YouTube creator Mat Armstrong, a man who built his reputation by repairing damaged supercars that many people believed could never be saved. On the other side stands Bugatti, a legendary company known for creating some of the fastest, most expensive, and most exclusive cars on Earth. As excitement grew around Mat's latest project involving a heavily damaged Bugatti Chiron, so did the rumors. Some people began claiming that Bugatti was preparing its biggest legal move yet, one that could stop the release of the finished project before it reached the public. Others argued that these rumors were being exaggerated and that no one really knew what was happening behind closed doors. Whether those claims turn out to be true or not, they have sparked an important discussion about ownership, creativity, repair rights, and the future of independent car builders. This is no longer just a story about one luxury car. It has become a conversation about who truly controls a product after it has been sold. Does the company that built it continue to control how it is repaired, modified, and shown to the world? Or does that right belong to the person who bought it? These questions have divided car lovers, lawyers, mechanics, and even lawmakers across Europe and beyond. The debate has become even more interesting because Mat Armstrong is not a traditional repair shop with hundreds of employees or decades of factory experience. He is a self-taught mechanic and content creator who shares every step of his work with millions of viewers. His videos are not polished advertisements created by a car manufacturer. Instead, they show broken parts, failed experiments, unexpected setbacks, and creative solutions. That honesty has earned him a loyal audience who enjoy watching problems get solved in real time. At the same time, Bugatti has spent decades building a reputation based on perfection, precision, and exclusivity. Every Chiron that leaves a factory represents years of engineering, testing, and craftsmanship. The company carefully protects its brand because every small detail contributes to the value of its cars. When two very different worlds like these collide, it naturally creates tension. On one side is a company determined to protect its image and intellectual property. On the other is a creator who believes that knowledge should be shared and that damaged cars deserve a second chance instead of being forgotten. As more people followed the rebuild, the internet became filled with theories, predictions, and heated debates about what might happen next. Some believed that Bugatti would simply ignore the project. Others expected legal letters, while a few even suggested that the conflict could grow into one of the biggest legal battles the automotive YouTube community had ever seen. The closer the project came to completion, the louder those conversations became. Every teaser image, every social media post, and every update added more fuel to the discussion. Fans counted down the days until the finished build would finally be revealed, wondering whether they were about to witness a historic moment for independent car builders or the beginning of a much larger fight between corporate control and personal freedom. Before we can understand why this story has captured so much attention around the world, we first need to look at how Mat Armstrong earned his reputation, why so many people trust his work, and how one damaged Bugatti became the center of a debate that reaches far beyond the automotive industry. Mat Armstrong's journey to becoming one of the most recognized automotive creators on YouTube did not begin with a luxury garage, unlimited money, or factory training. It began with a passion for cars, a willingness to learn by doing, and the courage to take on projects that many experienced mechanics would refuse. Long before millions of people watched him rebuild supercars, Mat was already buying damaged vehicles, repairing them with patience and determination, and documenting the entire process for his growing audience. Unlike traditional television shows, where viewers usually see only the finished result, Mat chose to show everything. He filmed the mistakes, the failed attempts, the unexpected expenses, and the moments when it seemed impossible to continue. This honest approach made his content feel real. People did not watch only because they loved expensive cars. They watched because they enjoyed seeing someone solve difficult problems step by step. Over time, his channel became more than entertainment. It became a place where viewers learned about engineering, repair techniques, and the value of persistence. Every successful rebuild proved that even badly damaged vehicles could be given a second life with enough skill and determination. As his audience grew into the millions, so did the size and complexity of his projects. He moved from repairing everyday sports cars to working on some of the world's most exclusive machines, earning respect from fans and industry experts alike. One of the biggest turning points came when he successfully rebuilt a Bugatti Veyron, a project that many believed was almost impossible for an independent mechanic. The Veyron is not just another supercar. It is a technological masterpiece filled with complex systems, expensive parts, and engineering solutions that very few people outside Bugatti fully understand. Factory servicing alone can cost more than the price of many brand new family cars, while major repairs often reach hundreds of thousands of dollars. When Mat demonstrated that certain maintenance and repair work could be completed without relying entirely on the manufacturer, many viewers saw it as proof that independent mechanics were more capable than people had been led to believe. His videos also encouraged discussions about repair costs, parts availability, and whether luxury car manufacturers should have greater control over vehicles after they have been sold. Some people praise Mat for making knowledge more accessible and inspiring future mechanics. Others argued that companies like Bugatti have good reasons for maintaining strict standards, because even a small mistake on a high-performance car could have serious safety consequences. Both sides made valid points, which is one reason the discussion became so interesting. Then came the project that attracted even more attention, a damaged Bugatti Chiron, connected to collector Alex Gonzalez. The Chiron is widely considered one of the greatest hypercars ever built, combining incredible speed, advanced technology, and a level of craftsmanship that few manufacturers can match. When news spread that this heavily damaged car would be rebuilt outside the official Bugatti network, excitement exploded across social media. Many people believed it would become Mat's greatest challenge yet. The project was far more difficult than anything he had attempted before. Finding replacement parts was not easy. Repairing advanced systems required careful research, and every stage presented new problems that had to be solved creatively. Instead of hiding those difficulties, Mat shared them openly with his audience, making viewers feel like they were part of the journey. Every episode ended with new questions, encouraging fans to return for the next update. As the rebuild progressed, people began to realize that this was no longer just another restoration series. It had become a symbol of what independent builders could achieve without direct factory support. Some celebrated this as a victory for creativity and determination, while others worried it challenged the business models of companies that invest billions in designing, building, and protecting their vehicles. The more successful the project became, the more attention it attracted from across the automotive world. Journalists, mechanics, collectors, and enthusiasts all started discussing what this rebuild could mean for the future of luxury car ownership. Few people realized that behind the excitement, a much larger debate was beginning to take shape, one that involved not only engineering and craftsmanship, but also legal rights, intellectual property, and the growing global movement known as the right to repair. As the Bugatti Chiron rebuild moved closer to completion, the conversation slowly changed from mechanical challenges to much bigger questions about ownership and control. For many viewers, the project was no longer just about repairing an expensive hypercar. It had become a symbol of something much larger. Across the world, more people were beginning to ask whether manufacturers should continue controlling how their products are repaired after they have been sold. This debate is not limited to cars. It also affects smartphones, tractors, computers, medical equipment, and many other products that rely on specialized software and manufacturer control parts. Over the last decade, the right to repair movement has gained support from consumers, independent repair shops, lawmakers, and environmental groups. Their main argument is simple. If someone legally buys a product, they should have the freedom to repair, maintain, and modify it without unnecessary restrictions. Supporters believe this reduces waste, lowers repair costs, encourages innovation, and gives consumers more control over their own property. On the other hand, manufacturers argue that modern products are becoming increasingly complex and that unauthorized repairs can create safety risks, reduce reliability, and damage the reputation of their brands. In the world of high-performance cars, these concerns become even more serious. A Bugatti Chiron is not an ordinary vehicle. It is a machine capable of extraordinary speeds, built with advanced engineering that requires extreme precision. Every component is designed to work together under enormous stress, and even a small mistake during repairs could have serious consequences. From Bugatti's point of view, maintaining strict standards helps protect both the customer and the company's reputation. Owners are paying millions of dollars not only for performance, but also for confidence that every part of the car meets factory specifications. This explains why Bugatti carefully manages its service network, diagnostic systems, and replacement parts. However, critics argue that these policies can make independent repairs extremely difficult or even impossible. They believe that manufacturers sometimes go beyond protecting safety and begin protecting their business interests instead. When repair costs become so high that owners feel forced to return to the factory for even minor work, questions naturally arise about whether competition is being limited. Mat Armstrong's videos brought these questions into the public spotlight because millions of viewers could watch the repair process with their own eyes. Instead of hearing only what manufacturers claimed, they could see how independent problem-solving worked in practice. This transparency made many people reconsider long-held assumptions about luxury car repairs. It also encouraged discussions about whether manufacturers should provide greater access to repair information, diagnostic tools, and replacement parts. At the same time, many professionals reminded viewers that YouTube videos show only part of the process. Behind every successful rebuild are countless hours of research, testing, safety checks, and technical knowledge that cannot always fit into a 20 or 30-minute episode. That is why opinions remain divided. Some viewers believe Mat's work proved that independent mechanics deserve greater freedom. Others believe factory oversight remained essential for vehicles as advanced as the Chiron. As these debates continued, another issue began attracting attention. Reports and online discussions suggested that Bugatti might not simply disagree with the rebuild from a technical standpoint. Some people believe the company could rely on intellectual property law to protect elements of the Chiron's design. Instead of focusing only on mechanical repairs, attention shifted toward legal concepts such as design rights, trademarks, copyrights, and the protection of unique styling. These legal subjects are rarely discussed by everyday car enthusiasts, yet they can have enormous consequences for manufacturers, custom builders, and content creators alike. Suddenly, the conversation was no longer limited to replacing damaged body panels or repairing suspension components. It became a discussion about where creativity ends, where legal protection begins, and how courts balance the rights of companies with the freedoms of owners. Whether those legal concerns would actually lead to action remained uncertain, but they added another layer of suspense to a project that had already captured the imagination of millions. As excitement continued to grow online, people realized that the next chapter of the story might not unfold inside a workshop filled with tools and engines, but inside meeting rooms, legal offices, and possibly even courtrooms, where the future of independent automotive projects could be debated in ways few viewers had ever imagined. The legal questions surrounding this project may sound complicated at first, but the basic ideas are easier to understand than many people think. Every major car manufacturer invests billions of dollars in research, engineering, design, and testing before a new model ever reaches customers. Companies like Bugatti do not only protect the technology inside their vehicles, they also protect the way those vehicles look. The shape of the body, the unique front grille, the flowing sidelines, the headlights, and many other design elements can be protected under intellectual property laws in different parts of the world. These protections exist because companies want to stop others from copying their products and selling lookalikes that could confuse customers or damage the brand's reputation. At the same time, owning a car gives buyers important rights as well. Once someone purchases a vehicle, they generally have the freedom to drive it, maintain it, repaint it, replace worn-out parts, or even customize it according to local laws. This is where the debate becomes interesting. There's often a fine line between repairing a vehicle, modifying it, and creating something that may raise legal questions about protected designs. Every situation is different, and the outcome depends on the facts, the laws in the relevant country, and how courts interpret those laws. That is why legal experts sometimes disagree even when discussing the same case. In the Bugatti Chiron project, many online discussions focused on whether custom body modifications could become part of a legal dispute. Some internet users claim that Bugatti could challenge the project by arguing that important elements of the Chiron's appearance were protected by design rights. Others argued that because the owner legally purchased a vehicle, he had the right to modify it as he wished. The truth is that these issues are rarely as simple as social media posts make them appear. Courts usually examine many factors before reaching a decision. They may consider how much of the original design remains, whether the modifications create confusion in the marketplace, whether the work is being sold commercially, and whether any protected intellectual property has actually been infringed. These are detailed legal questions that cannot be answered with a single sentence. Another important point that many viewers overlook is that intellectual property laws are different from country to country. Rules in the European Union may not be identical to those in the United Kingdom, the United States, or the Middle East. A legal strategy that works in one jurisdiction may not work in another. This is why international companies often work with teams of lawyers who specialize in different legal systems. For viewers watching YouTube videos, these legal differences can seem invisible, but behind the scenes they often play a major role whenever disputes involve global companies and international audiences. At the same time, the growing right to repair movement has influenced how lawmakers think about these issues. Several governments have introduced new rules designed to make repairs easier by improving access to spare parts, repair information, and service tools. These changes show that public policy is evolving as technology becomes more advanced. However, most of these reforms focus on making repairs possible rather than giving unlimited freedom to reproduce or commercially exploit protected designs. Because of that,